So what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is Baz here.
And add that overblown music.
You can't even hear me right now, guys. FNAF 7 is confirmed.
What music?
We're back anyway, guys, to talk about some recent stuff that's been going on with Scott Games, and I guess Scott Cawthon as well, because some interesting updates have happened, and take it away.
I mean, but yeah, we haven't actually heard from Scott in a while, and he updates regularly. We just haven't really been keeping track of it, but yes, he put up a update on his Steam page, basically the future of FNAF games and update ideas.
And I think it's good in this case that we've actually waited.
Yeah.
This was made 4 days ago as of recording this, and it probably will be uploaded as well on the 20th if YouTube doesn't do its janky stuff. Well, since waiting for this, he kind of gave us some ideas and he's definitely advanced with them. So we'll start by reading through this paragraph right here, guys. Then on scottgames.com, there's been some pretty big updates. So yeah, let's start with this and I'll let you take it away to begin with.
Okay, so future of FNAF games and update ideas. Hey guys, I wanted to give an update about the future of FNAF games.
I know I've given updates on this before, promising console releases, VR and more, but in all honesty, the reason those things haven't happened yet is because of me. Scott, don't make it about you, all right? Make it about the community.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding, guys. I've had some good opportunities come and go, but at the end of the day, the same issues has always remained. I wanted to finish the series myself, and I didn't trust anyone else to do it. Whether or not that was a good decision or can be debated, but I wanted to finish the story even if some bigger game publisher could have maybe done a better job.
At this juncture, though, with the release of Pizzeria Simulator, I feel good about revisiting some of those opportunities. So yeah, there'll be hopefully more FNAF games at some point in the future, but they won't come directly from me anymore. You guys deserve better than one guy at his computer making these games anyway. If there is to ever be another game in the series, I would want it to come from an experienced publisher that could really make something incredible.
Putting major releases aside though, I've rolled around some ideas for updates to Pizzeria Simulator. A lot of people have wanted the Endless Tycoon mode or a custom night, so I may eventually begin working on something like that. It won't be with teasers and cryptic hints. I think I'd rather just have a devlog and share with the community about what I'm working on, posting updates a few times a week, and just talking with you guys.
So, on that note, what sounds more fun for an update? An Endless Tycoon mode with new items and new day-to-day challenges, or some kind of ultimate custom night featuring lots of characters? And obviously any updates would be free.
Let me know what you guys think, and I'll keep you guys updated with any developments, and it looks like there's an update already.
Yeah. Update. Based on the community's response to the update ideas, I've decided to start working on an ultimate custom night for Pizzeria Simulator. Be watching scottgames.com over the coming months to check on my progress. This doesn't actually mean that an endless pizzeria mode won't eventually happen.
So, okay, guys, February the 16th. We're on February the 20th right now, and he's done.
Yeah,
I thought he said. So we can expect this release to be 30 minutes after this video goes live.
Exactly. Yeah.
It seems like he's had this plan though, because like if you look at the way the screens are out, these they have their icon shots. You know what I mean?
All you need to do is really add in jump scare animations for each of them. I guess.
Pretty much, and like I guess a few. Well, no, there's no camera system really, is there? For Pizzeria Simulator.
That's true. Yeah.
The only time they get you is when they jump scare you. So
I don't see how this is going to be humanly possible. To be fair,
imagine if there was 40 animatronics in the vent.
Yeah, that's one per square. So I don't understand how it's going to work.
Hang on a second.
How many squares are there in the freaking ventilation system?
So yeah, there's hang on a minute. There's 6, 7, 13 squares total right there. With 40 animatronics, so how are they even going to fit?
I mean, I guess he's going to expand this most likely, but still, that's insane.
Maybe, unless what he's meaning is that you can only choose, like, for example, maybe 6 a night or something.
Yeah.
You know, like a max cap out, because I think like 40, 20.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back over to the post, because there's a few things in this I kind of want to discuss. So I think the first paragraph is interesting, and I guess the second one links in, where he's talking about like console releases, VR and more, and that it hasn't happened because of Scott. I think what he's trying to say is like Click Team, because that's his like main working program. I think you can do 3D in it, but you can't do very complex 3D, and so you couldn't really do VR in a 2D environment. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I think like in terms of the console releases and VR and stuff like that, what would have to happen is, moving on into like the second paragraph, is handing it over to like a games company who specializes in 3D. Maybe Scott can give them like the animations and stuff, because when you think about it, like the whole pizza is already made in 3D. And all the characters are made in 3D and they're like animations, and it'd just be the companies then using that to transform into a game, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I think I think it would be good if we see some kind of like Slender the Arrival game style, where it is like a free roaming FNAF, but a proper lore FNAF game, not just a fan game. So something like Nixon, for example, the way he's done his games, something like that would be absolutely perfect for a developer, like a proper professional developer, to take on. I think be amazing. You know what I mean?
Because there's many like small things that could easily happen to expand on the story, and I think like even remakes for like the first one, if there was a remake done of this, it was like fully 3D, but like before the night, you know, there was like animations where you're walking around the pizzeria where even if it's dead, it's like, you know, you pick up the pet, you read through the papers and stuff, and then as the night ends at like 6 a.m, you might walk somewhere and there'll be like a cryptic bit of story. There might be like an animatronic behind a door doing something, or just like small cryptic, because can you imagine like it's like end of shift, you have to walk down a corridor, all you hear is like a child giggling down a hallway. There's many ways it could be creepy. So and I think he's not trying to say that he can't do it, but I think he's being honest. Like what one man to do all of that it's just, that is too much.
Well, I mean, it's amazing that he's came this far on his own to begin with.
That's
anyway,
it.
So,
and I think he's done what he needed, because he wanted to, as he said, end the story himself, and that's kind of been done with Pizzeria Simulator, or FNAF 6, as it's known. So he has finalized the story of FNAF as an entirety, and I think now it's almost probably like a breath of fresh air to him, because now he's got like the freedom to move, to really do what he wants.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's the main thing. Maybe he's probably quite excited when you think about it.
Oh yeah,
you
just
know?
handing over the baton. Because in our case, like the thing that most people came back for was the storyline.
Definitely.
And obviously the storyline's pretty much been done now, so everything that will be added now is just someone else's take on that story. Maybe.
Exactly, and because Scott's got it all scoped out as well, he knows the story, he's like portrayed it before. I guess the game developers can, you know, understand that and interpret it.
Yeah.
I think because that's one thing that FNAF never got as a console release, and I think that would have been like a massive thing.
Yeah.
It's a massive opportunity that's not happened. And even like, you imagine FNAF in VR, like you imagine FNAF 3 in VR, all the stuff in the office, like if you could like, you know, lean left and right, look around the office, stuff like that, that would be scary. Like, imagine like you had like Oculus controllers, you like pull it up with that controller, like the tablet, and then touch. Yeah. That would be amazing.
That would be really good, yeah.
So,
or FNAF 4 in the bedroom, like just walking to
because all of the stuff in the games really is like perfect for like a seated VR experience. When you think about it, like, you know, a tablet, that just makes so much sense. Yeah. And it would probably change up the way FNAF would be played, because you could have the tablet on the side, you could be holding it whilst you're looking around and then checking cameras. You don't ever have to put it in front of your face. Yeah. So it could give definitely a different edge to the experience. But I guess next we should talk about the Pizzeria Simulator, like the endless mode, and then we'll move over to the animatronic version.
So obviously, as we know, the original Pizzeria Simulator, it was made out to be just a tycoon game. Like Scott very sneakily just said, you know what, I'm taking a break. I don't want to do this anymore. I think the reason he done that was to just take the pressure off him. Everyone's not expecting anything except a Pizzeria Simulator now, so anything added on top of that was pretty good. But yeah, the day-to-day tycoon, because a lot of people actually enjoyed that, maybe add in some like more mini games or something, or I don't know, because I don't see how day-to-day could work in that sense, because I don't know, I don't see how
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
there's like, I guess there's certain ways that you see tycoons happen. So like, for example, let's use the example of, you remember, was it YouTube Simulator? The way that tycoon kind of worked was you would do stuff which would get like instant feedback, but whereas the difference with the sister, or not the sister location, the Pizzeria Simulator, is that you'd have to end the day before you get the feedback on if you did good or not. Yeah. So I think maybe the gameplay would actually have to change for that, because like the way I envisioned a pizzeria is that you would start with nothing. You wouldn't really have a night system. You would add a game, then maybe you get $1 an hour or something. Yeah. Then you did something to that to bring in more people, which would get more money, and then you just keep building. You know, it's just not quite the same as like another tycoon. So it would be interesting to see how Scott would maybe change that up, because you know, if it's done in Click Team, all the models are done, I'd imagine it's just small scripting. I swear he did a game which was similar to what I'm explaining right there before.
What, like a tycoon game?
Kind of like, he did something before. It was one of his previous games, and it worked just how I'm kind of explaining. I think it might have been, you know, the balloon thing. Oh, yeah. Remember when you're like sat in a forest and things come in and then... you
sit and survive, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and then like you can buy like something which will do a job for you, and then you can buy two, and then it kind of, you know, things start building. It's almost like a clicking, you know, those clicking simulator games.
I don't see how it could be endless though. That's the thing. You would have to reach an end at some point.
So for the next part now, guys, we're moving over to scottgames.com, because what happened here is that Scott expressed the fact of making some kind of custom night for the Pizzeria Simulator, and he's given us this massive roster of characters. 40 animatronics total for this, guys. This is just going to be crazy.
Yeah, I don't see how this is going to work with the ventilation system, as we pointed out before. He'll have to literally remake a whole new... You know how like he did with Sister Location and the NAD night, where it's just an office? It would have to be something like that. I don't know, the whole like not being able to see where they are kind of thing.
I think that would kind of definitely ruin...
It was one of the hardest FNAF games, definitely. Pizzeria. I didn't even finish it, to be fair. I couldn't finish finish it. It was too hard.
It was
for
very
me.
tricky.
But yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. If there's going to be a cap on how many animatronics you can have, or if there's going to be a set challenges like there usually is. I don't know how. I don't see how 40-20 mode is going to work.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it, because for all these FNAF characters, it would definitely be a waste, definitely in my opinion, to not be able to see them in the vents. You know what I mean? So it would be cool if then he added some kind of tablet system where you can look on the cameras at the animatronics in the vents to see them crawling through.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that could actually explain why he's adding 40 to this game, because he wouldn't have to do all that extra work.
Yeah.
So doing 40 characters, really, you wouldn't have to do a whole lot to it. Because the only time you would see them is when they're in the office.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it would be, I don't know, I can't really explain it. It would be more of a sense of like, they're in the vents and you have to use like your knowledge,
yeah,
you know, to see them, which I guess would be a bit of a shame considering there's so much here. But saying that though, Scott's done this kind of roster of 40, but he said like in the upcoming months.
Yeah.
You know, so that, and I don't know if it would, because we know Scott works super quick, especially with jump scares and stuff. A couple of months for 40 jump scares is still quite a lot of work, but for Scott, he's a really efficient worker.
Yeah.
So maybe he's planning to add some new stuff, maybe like a new office.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got the phone guy down there. I don't know how that's going to work as an animatronic.
Just a phone just like springing forward straight in your face.
Like the jump scare will probably be just distorted phone guy most likely. But
I love how we've got the candy guy as well.
Yeah, see, that's what I think. It's going to be
Amazing.
like, it's going to be kind of like FNAF World in that sense, where it's like very self-aware of a game, if you know what I mean. So it's just trolling and having a laugh.
I think I'd appreciate that as well. It's definitely one of those things where it's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, 40 animatronics like all around the place. That's just nuts. There is actually some mock-ups that I think fans made where you could see, for example, this character here in the vents, because that's a creepy one. Like that is like uncanny.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I think someone linked it in the Skype group chat, and it was freaking horrible to look at. So.
Then we've got the Funtime. Is that Funtime Chica?
No, that's
because I think that was like one of the characters we never saw.
It was a stage Chica. I forgot what it's the one that you buy.
It's expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's expensive.
And then Golden Freddy from FNAF 2, the Marionette, Lefty. Was it Lefty?
Yeah,
so
Lefty.
And then we've, as Ryan said before, the phone, which is a very interesting 40th character. Still giving no identity towards the phone guy as well.
Yeah, it's literally just. That's it. That's
and
who it is.
Maybe that's it. Maybe the phone. Like if we zoom into the phone, there's a brain in the top of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there we have it anyway, guys. That was a full discussion, I suppose, on the Steam post and then the Scott Game stuff. It is pretty fun to come back and look at this stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Once every so often, because we don't get to do it all the time, and that's partially due to just we don't want to oversaturate the news. Like when something small comes out, it's better to wait so it builds up and then there's a full discussion rather than like partially covering something and having to speculate and being wrong.
Yeah.
Because Scott changes his mind so much.
Oh, exactly.
But there we go anyway, guys. Any last words? Because you're going to get shot after this.
Oh, goodbye. Well, now, if you guys did enjoy this video, why not leave a like rating down below. If you're new to the channel, why not subscribe for more content like this, maybe in the future. And obviously, when the custom night comes out, we are going to cover that.
Absolutely. Sorry.
It's okay, carry it. So I'm done now.
I think I've messed up. Should I redo this outro?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you know what? Cut.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?